OK, let's figure out what's different between the protocol and product. And as you see, the audience is different, because everything else can be common, like business value or decentralization. So developers are lovely users of the protocol, but they are building something people touch. It's product. So developers usually can be more flexible than users, because users can simply go to competitors. But if developers create amazing applications, they will make the protocol very successful. There are real-world examples of protocols that became successful because someone created them and turned them into something people could actually use. For example, MetaMask as a product had a significant impact on the popularity of Ethereum. Of course, we can ask users to download and synchronize Ethereum node, open CLI, and create a wallet, and manually sign raw transaction in Hex. But for some reasons, users will not do that. Can you guess why? Because most protocols are designed like airports. They're powerful infrastructure with horrible experience. Developers love protocols because they can provide a lot of opportunity for users and build something. But users even don't care about this. They want product easy to use. OK, no problem. So we can just build amazing applications, and this is it. Yeah, of course, but for some reason, we still don't have thousands and thousands of applications in Web3 with incredible UX. Why? Because most Web3 teams are led by developers. We love building things, but we focus often to the tech first, not the users. Developers care about things like speed, gas cost, and how protocol works. They ask, is it efficient? Is it secure? But users ask, what is this wallet for? Why it's asking for the money? And why did my transaction completely successful? So there's the gap. And it's not because developers don't care. It's just because of different mindset. So to build a great product, we have to bring in user thinking from the start, not after tech is done. I know how hard it is to keep users in focus, because when working on the application or participating in the hackathons, as a product designer, I can start thinking about users a lot. However, after the deadline, because of deadline, I can skip more in-depth research or additional validations to minimize the development time. And to avoid this, we must continuously learn about users. No, we don't learn about them, yes? Yeah, we learn about them, of course. And we must understand them and all the time and validate their needs. So the question is, what they need? Definitely, users don't need any of this feature you can see on this left side. And they just need to do something with the blockchain benefits, like a Dream Flow. You can just think about this and have it right now here, like here. Yeah. And to figure out what we can do here, we can refer to job to be done framework. So instead of asking what feature do we build, what we can build, we can ask, what job is the user hiring our product to do? This mindset changed everything. Because, but as we know, the situation on the right side is almost impossible. We should interrupt this dream flow by some specific stack, like this. But every time we add some stack, we can add something that can be an obstacle for the user. So, fewer steps and obstacles we add to the dream flow, the better, right? And yes and no. The last decade, especially in the blockchain, product designers and product teams, they tried to make their applications minimalistic as possible. But it's not always the solution. Let's check this example. For example, Amazon checkout flow provides you a lot of steps, like you have to open the website, shopping, add delivery address. You have to use even external mobile device to copy the credit card details. And millions of people find it intuitive, just because it's familiar. On the other hand, we may have a small store, and this small store can offer one-page checkout, very simple, with amazing stack, which can cause friction because it's too far from user expectations. Like, for example, unusual way to add the delivery address, like enter the zip code and choose the address from drop-down. It's fantastic, OK, but it's far away from user expectations. It's more easy just to add a couple of fields. The same situation with EOA. EOA is really simple, but it's just unfamiliar. At least users don't know where to keep the seed phrase, because their finances were never dependent on the small piece of paper. And make things familiar to users, and because familiarity is easy to use and understand. But how to make these things familiar? We must understand our users. This is where user experience can help us. It can provide additional knowledge about them. With this knowledge, UX can turn the technology power into something usable, valuable, and even lovable. It's a bridge between engineering and experience. But how we can get this knowledge? We should conduct user research. This helps us deeply understand our users, what they need, what they value, and their limitations. User research helps us to know more about user needs, their pain points, and their behaviors, helps validate decisions and improve product development, and reduces risks and increases user satisfaction. Let's check the example of how we can use this information with great tech. For example, if you want to make a great onboarding experience, one of the most important parts, you can use, for example, ZK Sync SSO. It's a simple and user and developer-friendly modular smart account implementation on ZK Sync. Our goal as a team is to make onboarding feel as easy as logging into Gmail. No browser extensions, no seed phrase, no fees. For example, user can authorize their account using the passkey. That's just one click, and this is it. And this one-click onboarding, in my personal opinion, is something amazing. Because instead of downloading the wallet, saving a seed phrase, finding the account, user can just use passkey with Face ID, and this is it. You can even allow user to use the application without paying fee and without any confirmation because of paymaster and sessions. Fantastic, right? Yes, this one-click onboarding is amazing, but does it fit to everyone? For example, we may have Amy. Amy is active user of 5 different European banks, and KYC is something she doesn't like. But on the other hand, it's something that builds trust. Imagine she decided to use self-custody wallet to make on-chain transactions. Of course, she researched the market and downloaded the best application that uses the passkey because it's something promising and created for providing a mass adoption. If she creates a self-custody wallet with an amazing one-click onboarding process with passkey, and this is it, you will have a user who has no trust, no clarity about what happened. Just one click, no KYC, no option to share the contact or any personal data she usually uses when called to the bank if something happened. This might be great for Web3 active users because they usually use passkey, but it's not good for Amy. So everything depends on the users, and this is why you should learn them and learn their experience to know their pain points and expectations. You should know what is better for whom. And depending to their experience, build something they will be familiar with. No matter it's minimalistic flow or the flow with a couple of steps. So instead of saying that we have something incredible, just one amazing option everyone can use, we should remember about our target audience. If you're building something for developers and Web3 natives, your way might be the better option. However, if we're talking about the mass adoption and the millions of people involved, most of them have mail and mobile phone number they can use, and they usually use daily. So the mass adoption solution is using mail and phone number, right? You know, people say, let's build something for mass adoption. Like it's one single user. Because when we talk about the blockchain user, we usually have Web3 natives, Web3 enthusiasts, blockchain beginners, blockchain developers, etc., etc. For mass adoption, we need one specific thing, and everyone will be on-chain. But it's not true. Even if we are talking about the mail and phone number and as the way to mass adoption, there are a lot of things need to be researched. Because some users are happy to share their phone number, especially in banking or security applications. But others see that and immediately bounce, especially in gaming or casual apps. Email looks easier, but even here you have two different options, like traditional login with password and social login via Google. This is the heart of mass adoption. It's not choosing one right login for everyone. It's understanding who you are building for and why. So even simple things like login need deep research, not guesses. For example, phone number login works well in India, Nigeria, Southeast Asia, because in this region, people usually don't have even mail. They use SMS and WhatsApp. Email and password works well in North America, Europe, and Latin America. It's familiar, but users may forget passwords or reject their flows without autofill. What else? Passkey and biometric logins are rising in Asia, EU, and US. It's great for privacy, speed, and mobile-first UX. But many users still don't know what it is, so education matters. Google and Apple and social logins is very popular with Gen Z globally, especially in casual mobile-first apps, because it's fast and low friction. But not everyone wants to connect a personal account to a crypto product. Mass adoption doesn't mean finding the one right login method. It means understanding the context, country, culture, use case, and user maturity. The deeper the research, the wider the doors you open. So today we covered only one thing, onboarding, but you should follow your users everywhere in the app and help to avoid obstacles. Use the power of the protocol to make everything familiar to your specific target audience. If something differs, explain why it matters and what benefits users will have because of this. Find this different. Always look for their problems and pain points and convert them into something beneficial. To be sure your product is clear for the users, you can use, for example, those 3 questions to verify yourself. First, what is this page for? Why do you need it as a user? And what do you have to do? For example, what this page is for, name entering or enabling permissions. What users should do, enter wallet name or tap to enable. But the answer to the question why is often very critical. On the first screen, we can say, instead of this, we need a wallet name to name your smart contract wallet properly. This message can convert this page into the obstacle. So instead of this, and make it beneficial, we can say something like, it's your public identity. Your friends can use this name to send you crypto. So it's beneficial. So in general, more obstacles and pain points you find, more smooth this experience you can do. Fall in love with user problems, and they fall in love with your solutions. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, I will be here. Thanks so much.